This one change can improve your retirement wealth by 50%. My man Mark Holbert, never met the guy, but read him from many a moon. I had written this Dateline February 12th in Market Watch, how investor psychology can make or break your golden years. I haven't read this article, so we're going to go through it together and see what we think. A lot of times people use this as a click and bait for Social Security. Wait until you take 70 to take Social Security. The fact he uses investor psychology in the sub-headline tells me it's not going to be Social Security. I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to be about just staying in the market. But let's see. All right. So let's keep going down here. There he is, Mark. How you ask a question can have a huge impact on the answer. All right, too much choice can be a bad thing. Okay, what's going to happen here is they're going to have you default. I can almost guarantee you, because I've heard a lot of this lately. You default into your 401k. You're automatically enrolled into a 75-25 401k or something like that. That's what I'm going to predict this is. All right. The truth is already wide known in fields other than retirement finance, of course. A famous example comes from Dan Ariely from Duke, who's a behavioral economist and a psychology professor. Participation in organ donation programs vary widely according to how the question is worded. If you ask people if they want to opt into such programs, few do. But if you automatically sign them up, there you go, and allow them to opt out, most people end up participating. New research has found something similar when it comes to retirement finance. How a deceptively simple question gets asked can lead to an improvement in retirement wealth of up to 50%. The study is Target Date Funds and Portfolio Choice in 401k Plans from the NBER, Olivia Mitchell, National Bureau of Economic Research, and who's the other guy? Stephen Utkus, not familiar with him, who's a Vanguard Center, I've never heard of him, Vanguard Center for Investment Research. The deceptively minor change that has such a huge consequence, the researchers found boils down in effect to whether participants in a 401k plan are asked whether they want to opt in or opt out of a target date fund. The researchers were able to study this change by analyzing the fund choices in the Vanguard accounts managed by 401k accounts managed by Vanguard. What the researchers found is summarized in the chart below. When new entrants into 401k program had to opt in, proactively pick a target date fund, only 28.4% invested in a target date fund. When new entrants were automatically enrolled in the target date funds corresponding to their anticipated retirement age, 78.7% invested in them. Opt in or opt out. The researchers net, and you can see here, opt in 80%, opt out, or opt in only 25% or something like that. The researchers next examined the consequence of this difference for investors' asset allocations. They found a big increase in equity exposure by as much as 24% for the second group, which I'll call the opt-out investors. Over your 30-year horizon, this increase could expect retirement wealth to increase by as much as 50%. Now, that's a whole lot different. Can improve a whole lot different than what he said here. Hold on just a second. He said could improve. All right. How a deceptively simple question can lead to an improvement in retirement wealth by 50%. All right, so let's just make sure we're saying that may not happen. I mean, it could if you look at historical numbers, but it may not. So just when you hear this kind of stuff, you say, okay, but is that likely to happen? I don't know. Could it happen? Sure. Could it not happen? Absolutely. I mean, just the idea that just because it happened in the past, it's going to happen in the future. It bothers me to some degree. But look, I don't have any problem having an automatic opt-out provision. That doesn't bother me so much. But because you have the choice not to, for sure. The increase in retirement wealth may puzzle you. Why should an investor who avoids target date funds have lower equity exposure than one who doesn't? The answer to this puzzle goes back to psychology of opting in versus opting out. Consider the thought process we typically go through when presenting the dizzyingly large array of possible investments that the typical 401k has. Come here, bub. There we go. Overwhelmed by the many options, it's difficult for us to decide how to become fully invested. It's just too risky, we tell ourselves. We'll never forgive ourselves if we choose 100% allocated to our 401k accounts right before a bear market. A related psychological dynamic is what I call analysis paralysis. Upon studying a strategy long and hard enough, we can poke holes in it, and target date funds are no exception. For example, why assume if I'm retiring in 2030, my retirement goals are identical to all others who are going to retire at that same year? These are perfectly legitimate objections, of course, but if the analysis leads us to do nothing or be too conservative during the accumulation phase of our retirement planning, then asking these questions will have done more harm than good. In other words, the perfect can be the enemy of the good. I agree with that. No qualm with that. I don't know what. Anyway, I got no qualm with that. I think I got no qualm with the idea of having an opt-in. I don't. That doesn't bother me at all. Or what they're saying, opt-out. We're going to default to your target retirement fund. Like Vanguard's 2020 fund is what, 53% equities. So just default to that. I got no qualm with that. People can opt out if they want to be more conservative. Now, you'd have to make sure that the company won't be sued when the market declines. Like, I never bought that because you can see that happen a mile away. But yeah, that's interesting. That's not as, that's interesting to me. The opt-in as opposed to the opt-out. In of itself, though, it's all, we just don't know what the future holds. So this isn't anything you can hang your hat on and say, if we do this, this is a guarantee. It's just not. So just keep plugging away. All right, we'll see you.